With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with my wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned cylinder. With posh new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize. They say the new driver cannot drive. Well, of the 33 chosen passengers, Ramnat, Pandey, Humphrey, and Sudama, they wouldn't let the poor driver drive in peace. They distracting him and wouldn't cease. While he driving, they hitting him some big cloud. So he stopped the maxi and put them out. And to discuss their fate, they went to drink us straight by a clock called 88. The driver called his sweet mouth friend Flash Gordon to give him some driving lessons. Flash appoints himself as the conductor, pushing around them passengers. Meanwhile, the car running about helter-skelter. Pedestrians started to scatter. Ellis Clark had to jump and run to stay alive. He said, the new driver cannot drive.
I want to say good afternoon and welcome to Independent Talk. Digwe.
We know the new driver cannot drive. Good afternoon, listeners. We just had a little glitch. It was our intention to be from 1 p.m. But we sure will make up for it with the information we'll give to you today. So the man of the moment, KB.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, KB. And good afternoon to the listeners, Tomika Moses and Bernard and others. Tati, we're here. KB, in recent days, we had the sitting of Parliament one with the supplementary budget, and we try to go through it because a new Ministry of Mobilization, and you being a man in the revolution, I want you to give the people a take of what the Ministry of Mobilization is about. It's nothing to do with work. But before you go, KB, 100 days. And the present administration is making all kind of song and dance about the achievements in 100 days. But KB, I want you to strip it bare and tell me, as a layman, as an ordinary person within the community, how does that 100 days feel? What you feeling and what you're picking up from the people, KB?
Yeah, good afternoon, Carl. Thank you for having me. And again, last week we had no program. Again, no fault of ours due to unfavorable circumstances. We were unable to hold the program, but today we are here. Although a little late, but you can rely on Master Carl. You can rely on our technical operator. You can rely on KB. Whenever we could make it, we will be here. And Master Carl, 100 days. We must ask ourselves, what are the positive and negative impact that 100 days of the NDC government in power had on the life of the Gregorian people? I will tell you, from a positive standpoint, let's deal with the positive first. There is no doubt I look at Honorable, first of all, I want to congratulate them for really making the 100 days in office. And I want to congratulate Honorable Deacon Mitchell on his maiden speech at the United Nations. In my opinion, I feel he did fairly well. And Grenada is our country. We want everything to go good. We want to see everything positive. We want to contribute to the positive development of this country. And I think he tried. But outside that, I could tell you, most of the excitement in the NDC camp is the continuation and recognition of the project started by the new National Party. And I also want to congratulate the representative of St. Patrick's East for recognizing the importance of that Livera project started by former parliamentarian Pamela Moses. And the present representatives saw the importance of that project and he vowed to continue that project. And I say that my Master Carl was there. I passed, and I passed on that. When he had that visit, we all passed, and he had a good contingent of government support ministers, people from the Ministry of Agriculture visiting that project. That shows he had value to it. And I also want to congratulate the NDC government for recognizing all the projects started by the new National Party and the way they continue the resurfacing of roads throughout this country. You know, I really applaud them, because when this government, when NNP government, you know, decide to spend money on new hot mix plant, they get criticism. Some people criticize them, don't understand. Without hot mix, it is impossible to resurface our roads, because our roads tired get patching. We need resurfacing now. And that hot mix plant came in during COVID time. So we were wondering, how would the Grenadian people assemble this plant? Because the company were not able to fly in their technical expertise to assemble the plant. But you know, this world is very small. It's a global village. We're able to take directive from the company in Europe, and we had that hot mix plant installed in this country. Today, we see the benefit. You're seeing the benefit of newly paved road throughout this country. So there is some positive. We'll congratulate them to going along with all the massive projects, the airport projects, the Monkuma projects, you know, the road, the bridge in Guave, and most of the big hotels started by the NNPs. We want to congratulate them. But on the negative side is bills, and more bills. That is the cry throughout the country today. We cannot afford to pay our electricity bills. We cannot afford to buy enough food to feed our children. It's like inflation run away. It's out of control. Nobody cannot do anything about inflation. Every month, people crying out again, KB, the bill gone up again. KB, the bill gone up again, electricity gone up again. So that is the cry on the ground. Yes, they appreciate those big projects, but feeding their children, feeding the home is a lot of problem for these people. And the biggest sin the NDC commit in the 100 days is the electricity problem, the removal of the non-fuel charge. This one is the biggest sin the NDC commit, because that will be on the back of the poor man. When you punish poor people, when you overtax poor people, when you pressure poor people, your economy will crumble. They're lucky the former government set up a good platform, economic platform, so they could build on it and benefit. You understand? They're lucky because they boast in the third quarter, they expect tremendous growth. All because they follow the same pattern of the past government. But to turn around and ask the poor people of this country to pay that extra bill to Grenlec to satisfy someone crony, or as the present Prime Minister said, the strategic partners. To satisfy the strategic partners, to make sure Grenlec is on some economic footing, so that will be attractive to his partners abroad, strategic partners abroad. But at whose expense? You're asking the poor man to foot that bill by removing the non-fuel charge. Why do you think the NNP had make sure they use it as a buffer, cushion the effect, so the poor man will get a little relief? And this don't see that way. The poor man must pay. They must pay. Iron your clothes is electricity. Use your washing machine is electricity. Light in the home is electricity. Blender, electricity. Telephone, charge your phone, electricity. Everything, your refrigerator, your TV, your internet, electricity. That is why you must never, never allow this company to fall into the hands of any multinationals or foreigners, because they will control the destiny of this country. This is why we should control it. We should make the sacrifice. We should subsidize it. What happened? We subsidizing aircraft coming from the United States. If there is 100 seats left, when it reach here, we have to pay for the 100 seats. That's empty in order to get them to fly. If we could make that sacrifice to foreign-owned aircraft, why we can't make that sacrifice on electricity so the poor man will benefit? Why every time the poor man have to make a dollar or to get something? A group of people in this country always making noise and say they want everything free. Everything is gimme, gimme. They don't want to pay for nothing. But anytime the poor man getting that, but when those big men get in the concession, they have nothing to say. The cry on the ground is bills and more bills. The dollar can't stretch. The 2 fortnight that was given a couple of weeks ago, that evaporating thin air, I surprised it's only 2 fortnight they gave. I surprised, because when the small man have money, the small shops in the countryside make money. Bus drivers make money. The multiplying effect is tremendous. You usually have positive impact on the life of the Grenadian people. The economy right now stall. The economy stall because nothing coming in. Nothing is getting worse. The poor man is balling every day with the high cost of living. And the good thing, it don't hurt only NNP people. It hurt NNP, it hurting NDC people. We turn around, the few people who had employment under the NNP, you send most of them home. You send them home in a crisis. You know what you're doing to some family? Someone was rejoicing and they said, hey, we send home flower in the Vera, the contractor. Yes, he's an old NNP, time for you to go home. But he employs so much people. He helps so much people. But you're rejoicing. You take the contract from him. I listen, Master Carl, I don't know if you listen to Sister Claudette Joseph.
Senator Claudette Joseph.
Senator, yes. Not a senator, it's Claudette Joseph.
You've heard you.
Yeah, Senator Claudette Joseph.
Who the truth about that now?
Press interview dealing with FIT. The FIT
who filigree and public
the FIT program. And I was shocked. I believe very soon Honorable Deacon Mitchell will remove Senator Claudette Joseph from that position. She really do qualify. Little simple thing as this FIT program. I listened to this lady saying, hey, putting emphasis on value for money. And she said the government did not satisfy. They were getting value for money. But the past government did satisfy the NNP. They were getting value for money. So they enter into a contractual arrangement with FIT. FIT will provide the labor and government will provide the funding. But government satisfy with their performance. Now, when NDC take over, they don't satisfy with their performance, and in their opinion, they were not getting value for money, they have right to say, hey, let me terminate that contract. You understand? Because I'm not getting value for money. But you still have to pay the people who work. 2 months, you don't pay them. And Clara's saying, look, yes, we don't pay them. FIT responsible for paying them. We know FIT responsible for paying them, but you responsible for paying FIT. Claudette, you, Senator Claudette Joseph, the NDC government responsible for paying FIT. And FIT is responsible for paying the workers. It's same thing like a security contract. You pay the contractor, and the contractor pay the workers. You can't tell them go and meet Miss Emily Pierre, or you out of place. Emily Pierre never hire them. She never pay them out of her pocket. So you can't tell them go and look for Emily, or you out of place. They have to go to FIT. FIT now must get that money from the government. Government terminate the contract. Okay. Well, you have all the responsibility to pay the workers. You say you investigating because they get large sum of money. You understand? And you don't satisfy. You don't satisfy. But you must pay. You have that moral responsibility to pay the workers. And Master Carl, I don't want us to choke cold water on that electricity bill. And the reason why the government of the day remove that non-fuel charge, being so insensitive, the plight of the Grenadian people, the suffering of the Grenadian people, in order to please your strategic partner. Because you're hoping later on, once they see Grand Neck look attractive, then they will come and purchase Grand Neck from the government of the day. But at the expense of the ordinary man. It's not easy when you cannot pay electricity bill because everything is around electricity. How could you choke cold water on it? we have a moral responsibility to stand up and say no. Those of us who really can't pay the bill, just take your lighter and burn the end of the bill. Don't burn your house as a means of protest. So we have to start protesting. And we just can't roll over just so. NNPites, Canadians, we can't roll over just so. NDCites, you can't just roll over just so. You have to stand up and say, enough is enough. 100 days in office, and I don't feel excited. All you do is put on your steel hat and endorse and visit all the big mega project the NNP start. You cannot say, well, I see any positive or feel any positive from that 100 days. I haven't seen it. Carl, have you ever seen any positive in that 100 days? You tell me.
The NDC is playing the fiddle fast. Alas. All them fellas playing the goat. No. The 100 days. My view on the 100 days. First of all, there is a communique purporting to come from the government, the present government, our government, which is the National Democratic Congress is in power. So there's not a damn thing we could do about it until the next 1500 days, KB. So we have to compare and contrast them with what was before them, because they came to the people and say, we are the better set. We're going to give you that, we go do all that, we go do all that, what some refer to as pie in the sky. With that said, Igwe and KB, they say top wins first 100 days. But if you win, you have to be competing against somebody. And at first, KB, I say, well, who them men them competing against, they win? And then in my sober thought, I say, them men them competing against the people of Grenada, the citizens, and they win them in. Because they trick them, they promise them all kind of thing and they vote for them. So they win them in shooting. So when they talk about win, I look at the language when people speak. Not what they say, is the language in which they speak, KB. So they say top wins in the first 100 days. Okay. To be fair, and what I always try to do being here is to be fair. I might have my bias politically, but when I come on this program is to speak for the weak, the humble, the poor, the voiceless. Those people who call me. And KB, you could attest to the fact that in our travels, people stop us and say, Master Carl, I want you to talk about that. So when I come here, it's not about me, it's about the people. And if it was about me, KB, or today Sunday, or I'll be somewhere enjoying the finer things in life. But when the people require me to be here, to advocate, or to be an advocate for them, I would not shrug in my responsibility, KB. And I don't intend to bend. And I don't intend to bow to nobody except the Ancient of Days. And when they make the mistake, KB, as the song say, I might forgive, but I wouldn't forget. And I'm going to let the people know my view and the view of the people as relates to what's going on. So who vex could vex. Who say attacking stupidness, but attacking stupidness just like the rest. And I ain't talking for Ching Long Creek, so I ain't talking for Creek. I ain't talking for him. First issue, they say they win removal of school fees. Okay, you say you remove school fees, and the little reading here, because I don't want to misquote them, KB, so I, out of the abundance of caution. Fees removed at pre-primary, primary, and secondary schools. So you say you win. Okay. But here's my parallel view. The same pre-schools, the same primary schools, the same secondary schools where you go and had photo ops when they open, is the same schools you victimize by giving the parents vouchers. And a lot of the parents up to now can send children to all the schools. So you're claiming free thing and remove. But what about the people you victimize by not giving vouchers? And they cannot send the children, KB, to the same schools you're talking about. But you went when school opened and you're taking photo up. Some even go outside the constituency in schools, outside the constituency and take picture in. Yeah, they in Anglican school step taking picture. They know they are in the constituency. But they're taking out picture. But they forgetting, they mess up the voucher. And a lot of parents do get voucher. So they couldn't send children to preschool. They couldn't send children to primary school. They couldn't send children to secondary school. But you call that a win. So victimizing the parents and the children is a win. So you say that was a win for you. So if it's that is a win for you, the people will judge in 1,500 days. Simply put, KB, if you're saying you win by doing that, but you mess up the voucher, so a lot of people don't get who you perceive don't support you. You make a lot of parents go what used to be sanitizing and cooking and things in school so they can have the kakara, the money to send the children to school, but you claim it's a victory, it's a win. So that's why I say in my preambles, is a win against the Grenadian people. So that's the first win there against the Grenadian people. The second one, KB, payment of dark salaries. So you're both seeing you 1.2 million paid to 1,720 affected officers, teachers. Okay, you make your campaign promise. And with fairness to you fulfill the promise. However, what is instructive to note, KB, a particular teacher took that matter to court and the court held that the teacher, it was illegal for the teacher not to go to work. And in other jurisdiction, KB, just in other jurisdiction not too far from us, not of us, teachers don't take vaccine and they lose their working.
Yeah.
But here, teachers refuse to go to work. They still have their work. And upon that, you pay them and you say it's a victory. But you don't pay any faith-based people
who work.
You make a set of people go in Carriacou and other places to give them letters. What I demand of you, and what would be a win for you, Honorable Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, is to give back the people and they take back the letter, rescind the letter, and take back the people to work. And that would be a true win for you. So don't talk about you paying, and then you pay the teachers, the other public servants, and the other workers of the nation nothing, because I'll make a lot of them go. I'll make over 500 people do hard work based on the working, because I see there was political appointees, like they don't have to eat. And then you're still in your schmuck way saying it's a win. Yeah, you win the Grenadian people. I agree with you. You win them.
They see that as an achievement?
Well, yeah, you win them. Third one, KB. Payment of pension. 60 million. Again, they're referring to 60 million, but they're asking for more money to pay pension. But they stay in 60 because they feel the people here gullible. They feel everybody here, they only, so they want to blame it on the asphalt. You understand? So they blaming it on the asphalt. So they say 60 million approved to facilitate retroactive pension and gratuity payment by November 30th, 2022. Okay, but the first thing is they had no choice, because the campaign they go pay pension, the court ruling came that pension had to be paid. So you can't take forward for a KB. You had no choice.
Yeah.
Any government in there had to address it.
They had to address it.
But what is instructive to note? There is a move allegedly to frustrate a lot of people by telling them, oh, they didn't retire or they resign. But the court go interpret it. Those what I are telling how they resign and they didn't retire, the court go interpret it. Because I like the court and I don't know about the court. And the AG is a lawyer, she know about the court. And the Honorable Prime Minister is a lawyer, he know about the court. So when those set of matters go to court, you go treat with. And I hope you come back and say that is another win. When the court rule on those what are telling how they didn't what? They didn't resign. They didn't retire, they resigned. And when you know the law was not effective, so the whole thing about resign and retire was not an issue. But you're frustrating poor people children. Awesome. But you're saying you win. You're frustrating poor people children by the same pension. You're frustrating poor people children by telling them, already resign, already didn't retire. And I say, always for the people, and I love the people.
I thought
and I campaign hard, and I'll go pay pension, but I'll just so I want to leave out some. The court go deal with it and interpret.
They're choosing people to pay.
They telling somehow they didn't retire, they resigned, so they don't entitle. But what you fail to realize, you have a qualification system you have to qualify for.
Yeah. And
for police officers, when you make 20 years and you don't pass the rank of inspector, you qualify for pension and gratuity.
You don't wait on age.
Not wait on age, KB. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They tell hold on, listen me, KB, listen my language. It's not about time. They're telling some people who make 20 years that already retire, already resign, so they don't get in nothing. Listen what I'm saying. Don't try to tell me what I want to say. What I'm saying is that people who have applied to the pension secretariat, who are qualified by making 20 years or more, they tell them what? They didn't retire, or they resign. That's what they're telling them. Facts. When I come here, I don't come thing. When I put me mark on up and I speak facts. So on one hand, KB, you see the vulgarity and the deceit that you're boasting you 100 days win and you're boasting pension. But you have persons, and I could call names, you have persons what make 20 years and qualify as police officers. But you're telling them, oh, you didn't retire, you resign. And you say you love the people. And then you're claiming victory. And you say they are win. So you win them. And a lot of them vote for you, but you win them. So now they're realizing that the Corey get Kalaloo. Because when Dr. Keith Mitchell and the NNP was offering them Kalaloo soup, they say they wanted ham. Now you offering them smokering. And you claim to the Grenadian public, oh, 100 days, top win. So you see, KB? So I now just comparing and contrasting it. And they could go and find out what I'm saying, KB. It's nothing to do with personality or politics. It's plain. Why are you telling some people in the pension secretariat that they make 20 years, they qualify by years, but you're telling them they resign, they don't retire. But the court go interpret it. And I believe the court, I believe in the judicial system. Hey, and they go do that. Next thing. They say twice monthly payment of salaries. His sandbox approach is being pursued to ensure that a seamless nationwide rollout. Well, May 2023, don't reach yet. May 2023, don't reach yet. But you're saying in 100 days, you're claiming a win for twice monthly salary. And what you don't telling people is that you're cutting, even when at best you bring monthly salary, is you're cutting it in half. So simply put, if a man is to get $100 a month, every fortnight you're getting 50. But they're making it look like you're getting more, twice the same amount of pay. And then you're saying you win. Yeah, well, you win the people because they vote for you, believe in that. Yes, you're right. You win the people. So the top wins you have in 100 days is against the people of Grenada, the state of Grenada. It's against the people you like, the people of Piti, Matni, Carriacou, and Grenada. You have some win against them because you win them. Because you tell them they'll get twice monthly salaries in June, in May, March, or whatsoever, 2023. You don't reach it, but you're claiming victory in the 100 days. You win the Grenadian public. Yes, you win them. You win the Grenadian public. So, KB, that is what I tell you, our compare and contrast. And I will tell you fast, KB. The field people in Grenada is like Jack, goat. Because the field people don't know. So they come with all the shenanigans, our thing. Cost of living. KB. Cost of living to the ordinary Grenadian. Whether NDC, NNP, GULP, those who leave their voting finger on the shelf, catching a nenen. But you're going to take $2,000 on traveling allowance and trying to say all kind of thing about it. They're taking gas in Central. They to pay driver. When you know fully well, lie. But you're saying cost of living. So cost of living for the ordinary man. Listen, KB. Listen what happened to the ordinary man. Electricity have him by eye ball. Food don't go down. You don't zero rate no new food items in the food basket. But you're talking about cost of living measures of relief. Stop it. That win against the Grenadian people. So when you say top wins in the first 100, yes, you winning. Because you win election and you still vindicating the Grenadian people. Political victimization, Panchu, Pablo, all them fellas them, you victimize them politically. Those people in Karakou, the poor people children. You're victimizing them and you say nothing. The Attorney General, Senator Claudette Joseph, and when she's saying we don't pay in the faith base, she had this kind of schmuck smile on her face, like she content. Yes, AG is a winner against the Grenadian people. But in the next 1,500 days, the Grenadian people go decide what the win is. So you had this kind of schmuck, they'll pay. And she admit, KB, she admit there was a contract with faith based on the government.
I'm surprised she admit that.
But however, she said the government do responsible pay. But I asked the Attorney General, Senator Joseph, what was the terms and reference of the contract you spoke of in termination? What was the termination clause in the contract? But then again, KB, the matter is one of concern because it's a labor matter. She speaks as the Attorney General and she's the Minister of Labor. So if the people are good to her, you know what happened. So that is a win against the Grenadian public, KB. So when they say they win against the Grenadian public. They not lie. Yep. So if the Minister of Labor, when the hat of the AG, say no payment for them, if the workers go to the Minister of Labor, is a foregone conclusion, nothing will happen. And add it to that, KB. And I'm saying that for what it's worth. The Chief Personnel Officer in Public Service Commission is the Attorney General's sister. But when Dr. Kit Mitchell was Prime Minister and his son was in finance, they make all kind of song on that. Whether corruption, whether possible, all kind of song and dance was made when Dr. Mitchell was in finance and his son was in finance. But you see what's going on now. So yes, KB, they win the Grenadian people. It's a win for them in the first 100 days against the Grenadian people. But 1,500 days, 100 go already. 1,500 days, the Grenadian people go thing. They go on again. Reduction in petrol tax. On one hand, you reduce it, but you're taking in less revenue, and you have new obligations, KB. So you have pension to pay, which you just boast about. You take out school fees, which you just boast about. You pay teachers, which you just boast about. You talk about twice monthly salary. You realize everything you're talking about is to pay and nothing to bring back. It's like, when children, parents work hard and the parents dead and need the money, they just squander.
Waste it.
So you're talking about everything to pay, but nothing to bring back. And then you say you win in the first 100 days. Yes, you win in the first 100 days. You talk about electricity. Well, Well, they talk about the $40 on the gas. We get so accustomed, so we could say gas has been that price from time immemorial. So you can't claim nothing on that. Because if you take it out, you mischief. So don't claim no victory. That victory is not yours. Give kudos where kudos is due. But you might just thought it just now. We talk about electricity, but electricity is the thing. You know?
Yeah.
All poor people out here catching in. When men have to go and pay electricity bill by, if you see sweat on their face, cold sweat,
They don't know what
they have to work with all kind of smelling salts for the bill. And knowing by they are little children, they go to school and they need the little thing for the little internet and the quarantine thing KB. But you remove the non-fuel charges. You say Grenlec losing money. And if Grenlec is the people own. So if you talk about the 16 million, you talk about it just a reinvestment into the people. But you're saying, oh, they lose money. But I hope you're not trying to make Grenlec attractive, because you say, Honorable Prime Minister, that Grenlec needs some investment.
Strategic
partners. I hope you're not trying to make Grenlec financially attractive for friends. I hope not. I believe in you, and I don't believe you will do that. But out of the abundance of caution, I speak here. They talk about the COVID-19 stimulus package. Well, that is the third phase, as they say. They say it was a continuation, but now you're claiming victory for it.
Somebody started it.
But that is the third phase, so 2 has been done with success. But now you say it's yours. Success are plenty fathers, we know that. Success are plenty parents, we know that. But everybody know, the people know. The people know. So all of these speak these measures already in place for them. Nothing new there, you know. Nothing transformative there, you know, what you say is the win. Except those vindictive issues in anything. We're doing people politically. Then we talk about civil aviation, and we know all the thing on the Carrico, they just come in 3 days and they do what the government couldn't do in 5 years. But they forget to say that the parts for the plane was already ordered before they come. They forget all this kind of thing, and they talk about airlift and so on. They forget these things, or they don't tell any people these things is over a period of time negotiation has to take place. And when did this negotiation start? And when did this agreement formalize? Because when you negotiate those things, KB, you give a start date. You will say, well, in the next 6 months, we will start it. So you're claiming victory. So my synopsis here, to summarize, my summation, KB, is 1, you win the Ghanaian public because you have a lot of things you don't speak about, which happen, and I don't want to highlight. And 2, all these things that them was already in train. So give some credence to the NNP for managing the country's affairs, financial affairs, so you could get money in the treasury to boast. Yeah. Then the question begs, KB. Question 1. Did they remove the fees? And if so, what fees did they remove? So not just barely remove fees.
On the port?
No, they talk about fees in school.
Okay.
Preschool thing. Did they remove the fees? And what fees did they remove? You remove cap on freight, and then you beg the same business people to have a hat and pass it on. But you know, it was not done for poor people, children. And that is another revenue stream you cut out. You cut out revenue stream on gas. You're boasting about you take out 5 things. But they're not prudent financial management. You also take it out on freight. It's not financial prudent management. But you say you win. Yes, you win, because the big business go continue to get more. Whilst poor people, children, what you take their work from them, don't have nothing to go by. And you say you win the Ghanaian public. So if what school fees was removed and when, that's what it is. But parents now, KB, in this country, They know all what's going on. They know all what's happening to them, but they don't saying much. They only meet me on the road, they telling me. Parents, I need to let all your voice be heard. Don't let me be like John the Baptist in the wilderness. I might be the forerunner to your concerns, but your concerns must be also heard. They can't stop you. They're talking about, and what is instructive to note, KB? All this thing about pay teachers and the bossing. Just in Trinidad, down south of us, last week I had an issue with the teachers and the court rule. They know how the court rule is. Same how the court rule. It was illegal here and you still pay.
Send them home, send them to work.
What else do you? Boy, you talk about pension in 90 days, now you're back pedaling, you're side pedaling, you're going sideways.
They do want to pay some people. It's surprising.
Yeah.
This one is surprising, Carl.
And you okay, KB. Let me stop and stick a point on the pension issue because I want people to understand the issue, because most times you hear they touting this pension thing, and so on. And I'm gonna read what they say because I don't want to let people say I'm misquoting them. Payment of pension. KB. Payment of pension. Igwe. Payment of pension. That is the caption. But the reading says 60 million approved to facilitate retroactive. You don't pay in pension, so don't tell people that. Say retroactive. But as usual, they catch the Grenadian public, they carry the color. So they feel they could tell the Grenadian public anything. You're not paying pension. Tell them you're trying to address retroactive. And that is the crux of the matter. And that is why I am comparing and contrasting. And this thing is not about blustering, okay? This is looking at the facts presented by these top winds and just stripping it bare and let people have a understanding as to what's going on. So, it's not about pension payment. Say retroactive. Don't beat your chest about pension. Watch this free thing. KB. It was instructive to know that when the first discussion of rate freight came in, my good friend Andre Donald, Guru, big up yourself. My good friend me and Andre Donald, had a conversation where he indicated that Mr. Kenny Larson, a businessman that is what is salt in the Grenadian context, first thought that removal of freight was a good thing. And in a matter of days, Andre said to me, Massacre, by Kenny said that not a good thing. A man of Kenny's what in the business community, a man in serious business acumen. Okay. You see, by this thing.
I would like to hear Kenny's reason.
Well, next time you meet him by Dai, go ask him.
Yeah.
So this whole thing about win, KB, I don't see wins there. The only win I see is against the Grenadian public.
If it wouldn't resonate down to the poor man.
This thing does not thing. By another thing I thought would have been addressed in Parliament was the impact of Hurricane Ian and Miami, Florida. You know that the gateway to us here.
Yeah.
So all the shenanigans about travel, condo airlines, this airline Sunwind, all them kind of thing on them. You don't saying you don't want any people buy it. We could have a little shortage, because things coming out of Miami might be slowed down. So you understand? So anything to give the people a forward and to uplift the people, not a word at all. No mention of it at all, KB. So this 100 days, yes, 100 days have gone. But what you say is your wins when you strip it bare. pension payments, but you're only addressing retroactive. And you have people that are entitled for pension, police officers, and you're telling them, what? You didn't retire, you resigned. AG, they go tell you, I say that, you're the legal advisor to government. You're the legal advisor to government. Tell them, they wait for matters to go in court. Address the people and them, they walk. They make 20 years through blood, sweat, and tears. They still carry on. The policeman was on the hit list of every bandit and juggler and so on. The sacrifice have to leave his family and serve the nation. In some cases, why is he was serving the nation, people were serving his family. But you're telling him how he didn't resign. He didn't retire, he resigned.
We make 20 years.
What he qualified by 20 years. And what the law say, you have to make 20 years to qualify. The law didn't talk how to resign. And retire.
Once you make the 20 years.
The law say you have to qualify for 20 years.
Yes.
AG, make a better try. Please stop that mama guy. We know you do good. We know the post I am too big for you. We know the post I am could be conflict of interest because I'm not speaking on labor matters as the AG. If the matters I am come to you, I want to see how you go treat with. And to see if you go recuse yourself and let somebody deal with it.
Carl, about how much policemen should that get affected with that 20 years, you know?
KB, my fear right now, talking to police officers, my biggest fear is once this pension rolls out, a lot of persons who qualify, because you have over 1,800 persons presently in the public service that qualify for full pension and gratuity. So you have 1,800 people thereabouts in the public service presently who has made the qualifying, has satisfied the qualifying conditions to retire with full pension and gratuity.
If they retire in Joes.
Then you have a set of people based on the law. If you make 10 or more years and so on, you're entitled to a gratuity. So a lot of things have to be considered. The liability of pension, what is the cost? And remember, this thing is recurrent. Once you start paying that every month, you have to find a money, KB.
Tell a machine.
And KB, there's no things afoot to bring in more revenue. You're taking revenue from the country.
But they hope they're going to spend it back into the country. They hope.
There's no guarantee that you'll spend it back. And KB, what is instructive here, KB? The poor man, when he gets like a money, he don't go in the cold room and them is spend it. So shopkeeper make.
Yeah.
A man say, Master Carl, why every day is Thursday in Grenville? No, I don't know what I mean, man. To keep you at Grenville.
Dead.
Why the man tell me, Master Carl, every day is Thursday in Grenville.
That mean he dead.
The user man has been in Grenville every day.
That mean he dead.
Are taking counsel from you on now.
It's dead. It's dead. It's dead.
Eagle, let me take a break here and come.
Yeah, let's take a look. My time check there, 2:30.
Yeah.
All right, let me take a look at 5 and we'll come back with some more vibe. Independent talk, people.
Life may be handing us 100 reasons to cry, but we'll do our best to give you 100 reasons to smile. Right here on Real FM.
This is right. You asking me what is wrong with Trinidad? You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, We called in an AR, we ordered an escort and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with mag wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With posh new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize. They say the new driver cannot drive. Well, of the 33 chosen passengers, Ramnath, Pandey, Humphrey, and Sudama, they wouldn't let the poor driver drive in peace. They distracting him and wouldn't cease. While he driving, they hitting him some big cloud. So he stopped the maxi and put them out. And to discuss their fate, they went to drink us straight by a club called 88. The driver called his sweet mouth friend Flash Gordon to give him some driving lessons. Flash appointed himself as the conductor, pushing around them passengers. Meanwhile, the car running about helter-skelter. Pedestrians started to scatter. Ellis Clark had to...
And we're back with a bang.
Carl, no! The new driver cannot.
Master Carl,
Yes, KB.
I listen to you. And Master Carl, it is clear life was better under the NNP than this 100 days under the NDC. Our electricity bill was lower. Cost of living was lower. And we had more people employed. So life was better under the NNP. This 100 days was not pleasant
let's
for
take
the
the call,
Ghanaian
Kate.
people. Let's take call. Hello.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon. Your boy here, man. Keep your the program, you know. What's up?
Yes, man, Wago.
Well, just cooling on. Okay, from the mountain, man.
Yeah, man, me dear you.
No, come around, you know, but some bush and what I have to do, you know.
Well, you gotta work.
Yeah, I do work to plan for them because I cannot wait on in and out.
By the sweat of thy brow, man shall eat bread.
Yeah, but I need to plan more to plant something in the backyard and, you know, I mean, don't wait on in and
Well,
out.
encouraging people to plant.
Yeah, yes, I don't encourage them to plant, you know, but you have to encourage them to plant to you on KB.
Well, I'm planting too and I encourage him to plant.
Huh?
He's a farmer, first, and the people's spokesman, second.
Yeah, yo. But in any case, the security and who is working right now. My cousin was, well, I don't want to say cousin whatever, but it's my blood kid, my cousin. He was telling me yesterday, month now, that he working below someone and he cannot get his security money, you know. So I want to know what is the issue for the problem of he's not getting his.
So what I want you,
money.
I want you to ask your family, the person she working under, who he works with.
Well, he work with who have the contract.
Who pays him?
Yeah.
Who pays him?
He work in the market, Greenville market.
Who pays him?
Eh?
Who pays the person she work with?
Well, he not a she, he.
Well, who pays him?
Well, the money's coming out wherever and then...
Not wherever, you know where the money coming out. So tell your friends to hold on, listen to me. You talk a lot. Listen to me now. And I'm advising you because you want advice. Tell your friends to pay that man so you will pay your relative.
You
know, it's an easy thing to do.
About the security, these government now don't know about these contracts.
Call your man, you don't ban big man. No big like that, man. You doing like you ban big. You know who paying, you know who have to pay the man or the contract. You know.
Well,
you know.
The former government people who have to pay him because he was below the former government, which is Dr. Kit Mitchell.
NNP the government is a continuum, and you heard the Honorable Prime Minister say that in Parliament on Thursday, that the government is a continuum. And one of the reasons he used for asking for the permission to spend that money, he claimed that he inherited over 250 contracts. And he has to find money to pay. So stop this cock and bull thing, Culture, man.
But money is not from the NDC, although the money
which party in governance?
But the man who have the contract, whoever have the contract and is within like the his money.
I think we lost that caller there.
The caller is CKB. Let me tell you simple. And that's the same thing the Attorney General doing.
Yeah.
They admitting government is a continuum.
Yeah.
And I think the Prime Minister maybe have more sense than them.
Of course.
Because when you listen to the Prime Minister speak, he says that we inherited those contracts.
Yeah.
And we as government, we have to treat with.
Yeah.
So we come here asking for these monies to pay.
Contractors.
But you find the surrogates.
Yeah.
And the acolytes.
Yeah.
They don't know. They playing dummy, don't know. And they want to call radio and spew this utter nonsense.
And say he work under
Culture, man, the man have a contract with government. Government have to pay the man so you go pay your cousin.
That's so clear.
That is easy. You don't have to go in Harvard.
No.
Even children who eat the lunch early and go under the school know that.
But what is it they saying? The man was hired under the
NNP. So NNP had to
pay him. NNP not in government again, Culture, man.
The man has a contract with government.
Government agreed. He didn't have contract with NNP. The government agreed.
As we the only government agreement that KB before we go, there's a question here that needs to answer. The Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Deacon Mitchell. Oh, is he calling me Deacon Amis Mitchell? The people want to know if your law firm still represents Green Lake, and if not, when did you cease from represent Green Lake? Because black man and nepotism, mankind, if you're still representing Green Lake,
yeah.
I find the way you're talking about Green Lake there. I don't know what the people want to know. So I hope you don't take it as another win on the people. Tell the people Tell the people if you laugh from still represent Green Lake.
Come clean.
There's nothing to hide.
No, come clean.
They're not top secret. They're not classified.
Come clean.
The people, we want to know.
No, he should come clean with that one. Because that looking as conflict of interest. If his firm still represent Green Lake.
KB, you've been around. Andre Donald, let's say you're Andre Donald guru. That is no disrespect to you. But you always tell me you in tongue long.
Yeah.
You tell me you in tongue since cow tongue was $1 a pound. Since they used to hold dog and lock them up in the pong, you was in tongue. But KB been here a long time. KB been since in the days of E.M. Geary. So KB is not no ordinary guy. And KB, what did I realize about you? You is one of the top political analysts in this country. You never analyze things, even when people do agree with you. Your analysis does be spot on, even in the last election, when me and you had a conversation. But I just want to bring you back to the PRG days. Because there's a lot of semblance of PRG happening here, KB.
Yeah.
Although they don't start to pick up Rastaman in Tivoli and Montreat yet. But the Honorable Tevin Andrew and the Honorable Ron Redhead was on a radio station in Carriacou saying men go in jail. That is there for the record. They're saying that. They say about 40 years and who will go in jail, and the Prime Minister had to make some announcement on corruption soon too. That is, when you say that, that is part of the revolution, and they plan to commemorate October and raise white flag and things. So that is a latter part of the revolution. And KB, same thing in the revolution. Anytime you oppose them, they cost you. But in the revolution days, they put you in jail.
Yeah.
But no, they don't. They put you in jail. They cost you. They tell you out your murder.
Yeah, man.
And all kind of thing. Now, KB, you being a man, a foundation, and now are you going to wannabes and has been. You being a foundation member of the PRG, and they can't take that from you, KB. Even though they don't like it, they can't take that from Kennedy Boudland. KB, you being a foundation member of the PRG, you knew about the Ministry of National Mobilization. I want you to tell the listeners about what is the function of the Ministry of National Mobilization, or mobilization as it is.
At one time during the revolution, former Prime Minister Maurice Bishop announced we need to create a new ministry of mobilization, headed by Selwyn Strand. And the reason for having such ministry, he felt the revolution was under threat. So you need to mobilize more militia. You need to mobilize more youth. You need to mobilize more farmers. You need to mobilize the media, you understand, the student, into one mass organization in order to protect the revolution. I don't know what is the aim, what is the policy, and what is what detailed plan they have, the NDC have. But I understand that they're injecting quite a lot of funds in a Ministry of Mobilization. I don't know if they're patterning the program as the former revolution leaders, or they're having something new. But they must tell us in detail, what are they plan? What are they going to do with such large sums of money? And who they're targeting? What is the purpose of a new Ministry of Mobilization? And where they're going to spend the money?
Yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah, but KB, I want you to, my reason for asking that particular question is to let the people understand what is, in your time, what was the Ministry of Mobilization used for? We will get to here down the road. We just hold that thought, KB. Don't let that thought.
I know.
Let's take that one.
Hello?
Yeah. Thank you for taking the call. KB, my partner.
Hello.
Boy, watch. I was hoping to hear a lot of things good from you, but anyhow, you still speak kind of good. But this guy, I find as if he's trying to tie you up just the same. Because, I mean, watch me. Don't forget, I suffer in Hoville. I suffer in the Richmond Hill prison. I suffer under all them government and them that part. So, I mean, KB, why, you give me a phone number, I keep calling, and you won't answer. And then finally, when a man do answer the phone, you say that phone is not KB. But then you...
Hello?
Just cheap out.
Yeah, KB. So
Yeah,
I just want...
I'll get you. What were the aim of it?
Yeah, the objectives.
Is to create employment for a lot of the lackeys in the revolution. Create work for a lot of supporters of the revolution. You understand? So I believe the NDC will follow that pattern, because you don't put that large sum of money in the ministry, in a ministry for nothing. So they will have people, my friend My friend Ken, you may lucky to get employment, man, in the Ministry of Mobilization. A lot of people in culture will get big job and contract under the Ministry of Mobilization. So it will be job for the boys in the Ministry of Education, in the Ministry of Mobilization. So look out, because the same pattern in the revolution.
So vote 27 could be the one
Exactly.
to help the boys.
It's a job for the boys.
And KB, what is instructive here?
How much millions they getting for it?
Uh,
It's a few million, well.
yes.
Because the point is that I think Dr. Mitchell Clarissa was questioning.
I think about 77 million.
$77 million. That's a lot of money.
Now, I ask you that question, KB, because we have to stay awake. And based on all the recent communique from the government of the day as it relates to the revolution, they are glorifying the revolution. Now, the Ministry of Mobilization, during the revolution, I asked you, and the reason why I went to all that lengths to qualify you to answer the question, I don't want people, if I started to answer that question, they'll say, boy, you're a little boy, you don't know that. But coming from KB, who was a foundation member of the revolution, and the Ministry of National Mobilization was to keep the face of the party and to satisfy the lackeys, the acolytes,
yes,
and the apologies. So when they come and they talk about the 77 million, they just gloss over it and say for projects, contracts. But you speaking on one side of your mouth and say you want to get away from contracts. But you also have the Ministry of Infrastructure what has to do with projects and contracts. But you put in another ministry with a lot of money.
Yeah.
Gradient still.
It's to consolidate the party base.
To consolidate the party base and to pay the lackeys.
Yeah.
Because you say the transition leads out, everybody have to get paid from that kind of money. But you're talking about a supplementary budget.
Yeah.
KB.
Yeah.
Which is a supplementary to add to something that already exists. But you bring a new ministry, brand new. Mobilization. And people wonder why them people and them glorifying the revolution. Right out of the PRG playbook, the Ministry of Mobilization now is right out of the PRG playbook, KB.
Yeah.
And we have to understand what here is at play.
All the leaders.
So there are persons who would not be employed by central government, but that not to say a contingency is not set up to take care of them through the Ministry of National Mobilization. And that we as Grenadian and NNP people in particular have to keep them honest, because they don't give in details.
No, that way the political acolyte will be employed.
They don't give in details as to what all our money will be spent. And that is the crux of the issue. So when I was here Friday and I talk about it, somebody can say the ministers and them, they support it. Yes, they support the supplementary budget in recognition that it is necessary for government to continue. However, the meaning of the Ministry of Mobilization, because they don't give in details, it's just contracts, pay, transition leads and so on. They're not telling you 77 million is a heavy amount of funds to allocate to one ministry, and a particular vote 27 was set up just for that.
Ministry of Agriculture is to get 60 million, and you're talking about mobilization getting 70-something million.
And that is the question.
60 million.
So if they want to vex, let them vex. But I go ask those questions and I go enlighten.
So are you saying Ministry of Mobilization more important than agriculture?
Become the heaviest ministry here after the Prime Minister's Ministry of Finance and them?
What is it there to mobilize? What you mobilizing? Who you mobilize?
Is the person in charge of the Ministry of Mobilization, Minister of Extraordinary, so you could just go around in all ministries? Check the portfolio that person has. You do time to one thing.
Agriculture.
And you've seen him all about. Is they on bus taking picture? Is they juking road in Breezan? Is they in Mount Kuma?
But that is for the Ministry of Infrastructure, you're right?
But it's the Ministry of Mobilization, you see, doing that. So check it, KB.
It's a puzzle ministry.
Not a pause, it is clear. We just don't want to unpack what it is. All the lackeys and the acolytes and the surrogates and them die where they go get rewarded.
I pity Daniel, I'm genuinely perplexed because this 70-something million, that is a lot of money. That shows all the big boys will be taken care of. Don't worry, NDC man. Your Christmas package coming. All the political activists will be taken care of.
And they make sure they ask for the supplementary before the budget. Eh? So that money, the permission to spend that money before the budget come.
Yeah.
So
they are aware. Life.
So all the lackeys, the acolytes and surrogates, big up this year because the future, the Christmas bride.
You see what happened? They realize life was better under the NNP in the last 100 days. These 100 days now, they cannot say life better because the cost of living gone up.
So
electricity price gone up. They're uncomfortable now.
So 2 questions I have for the Honorable Prime Minister today. One, what is the true flex with the Ministry of Mobilization? Tell us. You in government, you are the priority to make decisions. And 2, we want to know whatever, if you have any connection, your law firm has any connection with Grand Lake. I find you as Speaker of Grand Lake, they're losing money, you're so concerned. But it's the people's money, and it is reinvested in the people. So these are the issues. Let's take a break here again, equally.
You just hit me with it there.
They have to answer a question.
They have to answer, man.
Oh, yes, man. Mr. Deacon Mitchell, you have a steep mountain to climb. You know, you have a steep mountain to climb.
Maybe handing us 100 reasons to cry, but we'll do our best to give you 100 reasons to smile. Right here on Real FM.
You asking me what is wrong with Trinidad? You can't understand why things go on so bad. You find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car breakdown, we called in an AR, we ordered an X-car and installed a new driver. With 33 passengers from the party, we gave him a maxi taxi, fitted with Mac wheels, tape deck, computer, air conditioned 8-cylinder. With posh new fittings, this maxi car arrived. Then it started to swerve and nosedive. It took a year for passengers to realize. They say the new driver cannot drive.
Eagle, we swinging today. We swinging. You're hurting a lot of people belly today.
We jumping up right there, man.
Yes.
I can't do the fella that win the so come on up today. We go mash it up today.
Yes.
You can't stop the unstoppable.
Can't stop it.
Trying to stop us now is out of context, Igwe.
Yeah, we don't.
You're wasting time.
We let go already.
Yeah, man.
We got.
We reach with natural flying altitude, so we don't falling from the sky.
Not so.
Yes, KB.
Jeffrey. My friend Finley Jeffrey from Chantimel, one of our top Calypsonian, one of our top educator from this country. I poor people children, man, from humble beginning. The village of Chantimel, Jeffrey Scholar.
The 10-time Calypso monarch?
Educate himself, man. A lot of people from the grass field never emerge. Some remain in the grass field. Some emerge. One of the guy who emerged is Scholar. Educate himself. And a few Calypsonian, that really continue the education. They just sing Calypso all the time, but not Scholar. He educate himself. He have a bachelor in education. Strong supporter of the Congress. And that is his choice. That is his choice. And after just a couple of months on the job, he get the taste of the real NDC. Take the call.
Hello.
Hello. Afternoon.
Afternoon, Mr. Carl.
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
Not bad. Tell us something about sugar in the country, How much we can with that sugar, I don't know what happened.
But them and them win in 100 days, so sugar is not a concern. They say cost of living go down without, so you don't have sugar. So maybe they don't want people to use sugar. They're not talking about that, on them.
No, but we need to know, because sometimes not every time you could drink tea, if you like some cocoa tea, you need little sugar, you understand me? So come help me.
Yes, we will talk later. KB, ask them, try to get a message to the people about sugar. Tell them you have a concern by the populace about sugar.
I can't answer that question.
No, don't answer the question.
Yeah, but
bring it out, show it out to them that people concerned.
The public, is crying out, wonder what happened. If it's a small, you have to run a country, and you can't solve the sugar problem. How could you run the country?
But you're winning 100 days.
That's why I'm asking the question, if life is better under the NDC now than under the NNP. And any honest NDC will say life was better under the NNP by far. Let's go back to my friend Scholar from Chantimel.
Finley Jeffrey.
Finley Jeffrey. We salute you, because we know you as a man from the soil. We know you as a Shatney player in Chantimel, man. When I go with your father, somebody introduced me to your dad, and they said this man is 28 years. Play Shatney for 28 years. Your roots from Chantimel. And you reach far in education. We in the country are proud of you. And you were minister. You was a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education under the NDC. And for no apparent reason, people felt you were victimized and pushed into a minor position. But Scholar, we all understand you work under Franca. Look up, you work under Franca. Franca and them have a lot of problem with country people. They have a lot of problem with country. If you was from St. George's, Scholar, I'm certain they was going to show you more respect.
If you call it different.
And if you had a better caller, because you caller do raise Franca Bonarina and them nose. You caller had to raise their nose. You understand? Scholar, you look too much like Kit Mitchell and Uncle Gary. You will suffer the same kind of victimization. And what make it worse? You come out in the country in Chantimel, Scholar. So you have to expect that from Franca and them. That have nothing to do with your competence or your level of education.
And Dr. Mitchell had promoted him to PS, eh?
Yes, while NNP promoting you as a peer in PS, even knowing that you are NDC supporters, because you qualify. Scholar, you qualify. You have a master's in education. You qualify. You went and studied. And today,
And KB, what is
in
instructive?
the 100 days,
What is instructive to
is
note,
the
KB?
TISA NDC.
Under the reign of Dr. Kit Mitchell, he lasted longer in education as the PS.
Yeah.
Yes, under NNP,
Yeah.
you last long.
Yeah, man.
No, you don't last as a snowball in hell under the same party you support. I tell you, these people is like serpent. They just eat the kind.
And my thing about it is that KB, those guys and them, they know the relationship they had with Dr. Mitchell, and it's not my place to say how Dr. Keith Mitchell helped them and so on. They know. So I won't come here and trying to assert myself as a repositor or the repository of every knowledge. They know their relationship with Dr. Keith. They know. And they experiencing and they feeling it now. They are go feel it. So when they tell Keith if he's tired, go home. They forgetting by when you pelting stone and in glass house is a bad thing.
Yeah, one thing I do, is to
You ever call there?
Yeah, stick up in.
go ahead.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Carl.
What go?
KB and the other one. Good
Yeah.
evening.
I did.
Hey.
KB, God. If you make it laugh. Good afternoon to everybody home and abroad. Look at what they did to him.
Yeah, I don't laugh in that.
I have to laugh. You know, Kevin said, but look at that. I mean, on that kitty been there, he been walking. They just send him nowhere. He's had him there. And he goes party.
He get 649, man.
Yes.
Come, he get 649.
Well, I mean, so you order that to look out too now.
Like, come like he get it prick.
Hey, well, I don't understand. And a lot of people not speaking up because they shame, they still bad.
Yeah, they balling with their mouth closed.
They're balling with them all close right now. A lot of them don't be yesterday. Yesterday, one of the bus fans tell me, oh God, Miss Tommy, he's only walking in tongue, They don't spend in.
They say Granville looking like Thursday every day.
Every day.
And a few weeks back, he jumping up, he in me top. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of the supporters of the NDC now, they're not saying nothing. People falling down. They're not saying nothing. They're not saying nothing at all. And it's them that balling, and then people are balling. Could you believe that? What's going on in Guyana? And the lady current, you don't sugar. These are the things that people need a little sugar. Your body needs a little sugar, Even if you are diabetic, you need a little sugar in your body, You don't have. Everybody living a bag by me. I go in my river with Miss Sammy. I go in the again. And you don't have. Try and get some sugar for the Canadian people. But that's good for us too. Because we have won them. They had a track record. They say no baby Jesus. They're calling the Prime Minister no baby Jesus. Oh, we are doing that. Calling the man baby Jesus. What's going on in this country? Rana tell me man baby Jesus. Lord of mercy, we are the pray for the country. And still pray for them. Something is not right. It's sad. It's really sad. But God is teaching us a lesson. God is teaching us a lesson. I see our next man stand up by scholar and Facebook. They give new permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education. You understand? I hope you make a calypso about that.
I hope he make a big song too. I want him to make a big song.
A big song?
Yeah, we have to get a big song out of that.
Look at the treatment. But they will not say nothing because they're feeling bad. And say, if you will ever put you in jail, they will put you in jail, just stop what that is. And Mr. Carl,
Nah, don't put us in jail.
You understand? Hey, Lord of mercy. We had to pray for the country, Dr. Mitchell. Good afternoon. He was in church this morning. Yeah. Wonderful, man.
Good day, Dr. Mitchell. Hope everything is
we
okay
take
with
him
you.
out as Grenadian and say there is nothing in Grenada.
I hope Dr.
Nothing
Mitchell
at all.
is in the program today.
He always listening, man.
He might be resting. I tell him, go and take your rest.
He just stay watching.
Rest, lie down and rest. That man looks so good. God bless him. I just say the one who not, I mean, your conscience. They're inheriting what the hard work
Yeah.
he put in this country.
Good point. Good point.
Hard work.
They inheriting the hard
That
work.
man, they inherited
They picking the
everything.
grapes,
How much
man.
money?
Yeah.
How much money live there? They inherited what the hard work he put in this country. And are they still saying he don't do nothing? So things will not go away. A lot of other permanent secretary, they go put somebody in front of you. Give them the time. It's just time. Or people say time longer than twice. And I want to say happy birthday to Sandy in advance. Sandy is running in number 6. Tomorrow is your birthday. Sandy is listening to me. Happy birthday. And hold on, roti for me, please.
Today's his birthday?
Fluffy!
A lady fall again. In the market.
Who fall?
A lady fall again. A lot of people, KB and Master Call. People is stressed. They're stressed out. I get me like this since last week, and I don't open it. You know I don't know if it's true because Monday before I get a bill for $346, and I don't open that one because I'm afraid to open it and make nobody come out before I open it. You understand? A lot of people is not saying nothing. Things happening to them, and people pressure going up. People stressed out. Children coming to me. They tell me I don't have money to pay me both. Give me a phone call to call me mother. When they call you, they call the mother. Tell me, Sammy, you got $250 to pay your both. I go give a pay back. People owe me, they don't pay me. Some of them don't get money and call, man. It's this NBC government that has to pay you cousin.
Yeah.
Culture man, those in authority know that have to pay you cousin. So I advise that man to go to his ministry and tell who you work with, and you want the money. That's the government that has to pay.
Not NNP.
It's not NNP government, NNP government nothing for us. No. NBC. People have to pay you cousin culture man. Ask anybody they go tell me that. As I don't have listening.
Okay, take care.
All right, take care, Cam.
Kami, that's a good point. They inheriting the hard work of the NNP.
Of course.
That's a good point.
I don't protect some of them people and them as baby Jesus. Because they call the Prime Minister baby Jesus. I don't understand. Them inherit the hard work.
Let it blaspheme, man.
The government.
Yeah.
The hard work, all the ministers, and then put in. Some people, they don't satisfied with the hard work they put in. But look at Grenada today.
Yeah.
Look at Grenada. I don't hear none of them say, under the NNP, they did this, they did that, they did the other. They're taking all the credit. The blessing in New York, they're taking all the credit. Why they don't say under NNP, he did what he did for us, and we started old. Well, I don't get young blood. Take what you get now. You don't have brown sugar in Grenada. You don't have white sugar. A few little places that have, I have brown sugar in milk shop. I have brown sugar. I have. You understand? The man tell all you in campaigning the track record. And most of the people, Brother Carl, they said, oh, it's supporters of them and they didn't know. They don't know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They're thinking them is NNP, their own supporters. If I like Papa God keep me on the better, you know, some of the young people and other members tell me, I vote for NDP. And they send me to snow. They send me child home. People scared. Pressure going up. People pressure going up. But they don't say nothing. Oh God, Lord have mercy.
All right, Cam, have a nice day, man.
And you know the thing what hot in them before I go, they don't have an office to go and speak to nobody now. Because in any time, you could have still go by the kid, you could have go by Ita, you could have go by Mr. London and try your trouble.
They cannot be found.
You would have get your little bill pay, you would have got some money to pay your water bill or your light bill. There are nobody to go to. One get one. And they care about young people and they care about the elderly. Anyhow, we have to live Grenada in God's hand. God is in charge. But you don't teach us as the Grenadian people a lesson. You teach us, you have to listen sometimes.
Experience is
Boy, I will be never ungrateful to teacher and teacher and Miss Bennett. Never.
All right, Cams.
I will never forget the good thing they did to me and hold me hand along the way where I was frustrated and I could never be ungrateful to these people.
All right, so take care, have a nice day. And just remember, experience is the greatest teacher, but it's the most cruel of all teachers. You're born to learn.
I will never be ungrateful to that man. I don't care what nobody can. I will listen. I don't want to call back and give me fire. I'm taking it. I will never be ungrateful to that man. And Peter David and Mr. London Hartford. Never.
All right, so take care, Miss Kami, and have a nice day.
I always remember the little things that come. And a lot of us in the are grateful. Have a good evening.
All right, take care.
Yeah. I remember. Sometimes I wonder why some people, not all, some people in St. George's always look down on people in the countryside.
But it's tongue and country.
Sometimes they see us as inferior. I remember my friend Strand Philip. When he came from England, he became Maurice Bishop personal bodyguard. He left his wife sick on a bed in England to come and be Maurice Bishop personal bodyguard. And he get about 28 searched by Gary Secret Police. They search him 28 times because they always feel he have some weapon protecting Maurice Bishop. And he was used to attack the Chublu barracks on March 13. But after he was gunned down, he fell out of grace in the revolution and he was gunned down at his home in Mount Airy. Listen to how Maurice Bishop described Strand Philip, and you will understand the kind of treatment Jeffrey Scholar get from the same kind of elite in St. George's. Listen to what Maurice Bishop said about Strand Philip. A man from Shantimel by the name of Strand Philip, who lives in Mount Airy, responsible for the Queen's Park bombing. A man from Shantimel. He tried to diminish Strand Philip image and character because he come from the old backward village Ashantimel and he come and live in Mount Airy. You understand? That's how we describe Strand Philip. Never tell the people. The man leave his wife sick on her bed to come to Grenada to be Maurice Bishop personal bodyguard. Gary Secret Police search him 28 times and use him and his brother-in-law Boston from Shantimel to go and take over the Chublu barracks. No recognition. Now, when Scholar get that treatment by Franca and them, is the same way, in the same light Maurice had saw Strand Philip. Is the same light Franca and them sees Jeffrey Scholar, the Calypsonian. They see him as someone from that old backward village in Shantimel. So his education don't count. His masters don't count. His sacrifice don't count. His commitment don't count. Even his loyalty for the NDC, that don't count. He get the blue. Scholar, you get the blue because of your class.
Get it, juke one.
Where you come out, you were not able to raise
Where you the
Franca and them nose. You see, before, parents used to watch, tell the girl child, be careful who you're going with, you know. Make sure you get somebody to raise we nose. You understand? So apparently, scholar, you were not able to raise the NDC people nose. So that's why they victimize you.
We have a call, Kibi. Let's take that call. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Everybody good, Igwe?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're good.
What I wanted to say,
Lift your voice a little bit. We're not hearing you clear.
yeah, what I wanted to say is, you all were speaking earlier on about the children going to school, and this is real facts, you know. What I'm saying is not much joke.
No. When we speak here, we speak facts.
Yes, because
We've done the research.
I've got a friend, I'm a friend, and some of the children still home. They cannot go to school. So where is all the money in the treasury or wherever it have it, dependency of where the money comes from?
And real pity I take out in them school and them, eh?
Yeah. Where is it? What happened to will be for today's children? What's happening? Some of them already have they might have their mom, they may not have a dad alive to help with these children to go to school. So what will become of our generation, our next generation? I just cannot understand if somebody could help me. Only now I'm getting a little rest and peace with a neighbor I have that since they win, she calling me bitch. I don't know what I don't do. My eyes not well. I doesn't get in her way. And that's all she keeps. Like for instance, if my son cleaning his garden around the house and he lights a little fire, it's a problem. And everything this children and them do, it's a problem around. I don't know if that is the way. I don't know if that is the way they call it, the victimization also.
That transformation.
Wow. Well, if it's transformation, I thought transformation is to do something better for somebody. And these are people that can't even spell name and thing, you know. Go to school and they just can't spell.
The thing about it is, caller, what you have to realize, the present administration is claiming a lot of wins or claiming things as they say they win. However, when you look at what is happening on the ground, is a different picture you're getting. Because the same school they go in and take out pictures, there are children in the school because of vouchers, so and they couldn't go to school and they still cannot go to school. They talk about permanent making teachers and the union boss in teachers was they saying NNPs to go on all kind of thing, but they still calling back teachers now. Those who have maths, they're giving them 2 years contract. Those without maths, they're giving them 1 year. Wow. And that is the same set, and these are facts. And these are the same set of people. They are the people who say, we will seek your permanence for you. Nurses, over 30 odd nurses sign contract, 2 year contract.
Wow.
So the whole thing about contract and beating up on NNP. But they find money, they find $2,000 to give themselves. They find monies to or they reduce freight for their friends to the big business to benefit. Wow. And they're doing things to support those who is important to them.
So what that means?
But those persons who are not important to them, they don't care. Because people lose their work, they give them all kind of letters. For perceived, they say they wear yellow jersey. Wow. I mean green jersey. But you have one wear yellow jersey and they're not telling them nothing.
Exactly.
So it is who they deem important. The faith program, they make everybody go, they say faith at a pay. But they say they know they had a contract. However, a lot of people even support them as working in the faith program, so they don't even care about this yet. Because what they do, they get the vote already. So right now, they call in the call alone. Yeah, because when NNPD offering Carlos to the plans in Navarre and Ham, now is a two smoker in So when they eat it, they can't go out because people smelling.
They should eat Chicago.
And I'm saying that because I know a lot of people have come to me and complain. One of them say they want to cut out there and I say, no, in the next 500, in the next 1,500 days, we're going to need that vote.
Oh my, let a person save the finger. When the next election call, we should know what's taking place. And it's only God we could depend
So
on.
my question is, why you talk about permanence? You campaign on permanence, but you have the nurses with 2-year contracts.
Exactly.
You campaign on permanence, but you have teachers, those with math, you give them 2 years contract, and those without math, you give them 1 year. You campaign on permanence for the Imanis, but never tell them you will train them in construction, plumbing, and electrical. And you campaign on these things. So how now? You just realizing that it is impossible so to do. But you don't have the strength and the backbone to tell the people what we say we will do that, but the situation is of such we can't do it. You're going around in corners and trying to cover it here and give teachers and give your ministers $2,000. You see, for traveling, and then make excuses and say gas is taken in Central and I to pay people. You have minister driving up and down in black van, the people's van, and still getting the $2,000 for traveling, and you don't say nothing. You're making poor people, children go, and it is believed that those who are walking on the road and think you go home just now too.
A few of them did not get any, I could tell you.
I know a lot of people who didn't get vouchers and they couldn't send their children to school. It's not no joke.
And a lot of them did not get in the road walk. In St. David up there, some of them didn't get.
My means didn't afford me to help a lot of them, but he has somewhat of help. Because we can't afford to, because let me tell you something, education. And what is interesting here to understand, Carla, the present Prime Minister, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, knew what education could do.
Exactly.
He knows. He knows what education could do.
Right.
So he of all persons, as they are calling baby Jesus, he of all persons should ensure that education reaches the nooks and cranny of this country. And he shouldn't support or preside over no roadblock to help preaching children to get a good education, because he knows he is a testament of what education could do.
And listen, imagine my son, the last one, he had signed up to go SU. And after the election, that child is something else. I have to say he's amazing, because that's why I call him, his name is Marcellus Miraculous. And they call him, and before they call him, that child started to go to school, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He don't know if they pay money or not. And he went to school, and he just recently get a text saying that some money was paid for him. I think that this is last week. That child started going to school since before. They call him and tell him he's accepted, but nobody had paid anything, and then all of a sudden somebody paid. I don't know who. Up till now, he say he would have liked to know who paid that money for.
A good Samaritan, maybe?
Yes, it could have been. And I say, because the teachers and them was chance the whatever, who teaching him, and they say, child, you come to school without a cent. They paid for you and you in school, and just as though, you know, like a ettle. Yeah, but I said, that's God work, not mine, the Father. That's God work.
Yeah.
So when we did call the Ministry of Education, you know what they told us? Told me to tell him to register for next year, please God. But the child is already in school. So thank God.
Thank God for that.
Samaritan paid for him.
Yeah.
And he still continues schooling. And watch me, he had time to give him 1 or 2 children a lesson so that he could have travel and things like that, you know.
Yeah. Tell me something. How people coping with the high cost of living and the price of electricity in your area?
Well, a lot of them just keep fussing and thinking, but none of them, if they could have come out on the radio and speak their mind, they don't want to. But it's not an easy thing right now to think. According to one of you all was saying earlier on, that they want to cut off the finger. They sorry they did them thing on them that they did, you know, in election. You understand? So it's really hard. It's really hard. There are children who could go to school and there are children who cannot go up till now. I'm telling you because you're hearing it on the ground. So if I'm telling a lie, I'm telling a lie is what they say.
Oh, okay, Cora. Thanks for your
So you
contribution.
have a pleasant afternoon.
You take care and continue to listen.
And Mr. Donald, good evening, sir.
Wherever he is, he's listening.
Wherever he is. Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, KB.
Yeah, you correct. Is the cry on the ground is either you eat or you sleep in dark. You have to make that choice. But some people will prefer eat. Buy groceries with their money because they can't afford to pay the electricity bill.
Let the current cut off.
Let the current cut off. Because no way you will allow your children to starve.
Nope.
For the sake of electricity bill. When you get the money, you go put it back. But the consequence, your children will have to pay the price because they have to study.
KB, apart from the cost of living, the victimization continues. The manager in the National Lottery Authority was dismissed recently. The replacement was one who he has certain NDC office in Grenville when he used to call it. She used to be the one answering the phone.
A male or a female?
A female.
I don't know this one.
The person's NLA, the manager of Graveland Concrete and his secretary.
Put them get dismissed.
Yeah, the victimization continues.
But that,
and
is the kind of victory in his 100 days.
Yes, KB. Well, they are going to, so they forget to mention those things in the communique about the 100 days. Because people out here catching in KB, but you're taking walk left, right, and center.
But when you win a lot,
and you promise before God and man that nobody will lose their work, you took the oath.
Yeah.
So help me God.
Nobody will be sent home.
And now they calling you baby Jesus.
Yeah.
And people tend to believe I just beat up on the church, KB. But the church mouth zip. I hear in Stanford and them fellas and them.
Stick up in me.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Mr. KB and hold on.
Just say squaddy.
Hello?
Hey, good
yes,
afternoon.
We're hearing you.
Okay, good. Now, week before I cried with Mr. Panchu. Are they making me cry again is that Miss Norega talking at home?
No, I don't know who is the caller.
I'm saying the week before I cried with Mr. Panchu.
Okay. Yes, but I tell you, I don't.
Mr. Panchu.
Yeah, but I don't know who was the caller today.
I'm not here.
Make your point. Make your point, caller.
Okay, sure, yes. So I'm saying I'm crying about the children.
Okay.
Mr. Carl, you see my number come up?
Yeah.
Okay. After the program, call me back on this phone after the program. Call me back, please, on this WhatsApp number, and I'll talk to you.
Okay. But you could still make your point, though.
Because talking is win, but we need to do some action. I'll try and see what I could assist with. Call me back, please. Okay?
Yeah, I'll sure will.
Okay.
Okay, keep that number.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
You be blessed and be safe.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Skull, I notice our present foreign minister, Joseph Andal, are preparing to engage the Venezuelan government, through Petrocarib.
We have a caller. Let's take it.
Hello.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yes, Mr. Carl, I just want to ask you a question. Who is the Prime Minister advisor?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I mean, these ministers and them and the MPs and them, I mean, they know what's going on with people. They know. I mean, who advised that man, they had to tell him something with what's going on with these people on the ground.
He knows.
Mr. Andrews and all of them is poor people that come from, so they don't know people in the village suffering, and nobody stuck and Prime Minister Ditton don't know everything what's going on. The man only did one of it, so all the other ministers like Clarence and all of them, they don't know what's going on in Grenada with people that trying to go to school. People need help, and the people just sit down there. I mean, that is not right. That is not right. And they have listened to the program. I think the victimization, the man in Groveland Concrete, I think Mr. Hercules, and that manager, he should retire already. I work with that man over the years in Ministry of Finance. Why didn't put a young person in Groveland Concrete? If they send the young man home. So I don't see something wrong. All the brilliant people see something wrong. Eh? What about the people that sending home that have their mortgage to pay? What they want them to do? Lord have mercy. Something has to be wrong.
All right, Miss Kami.
KB, you make a point earlier on in the program that the Grenadian people and the NNP they was living better.
Of course, yes.
So things to happen, boy.
Yeah.
Things to happen in the truth.
Life was.
A lot of us listening will not. They don't agree with that because they love when the them and the guy.
But life was better.
They know. They put in their heart and the NNP. Things to happen in Grenada, boy.
Life was better.
Oh, Lord God.
Life was better. Yeah.
No. Somebody say Richard Duncan is his advisor. The Prime Minister.
In what capacity?
In finance?
I don't know. That's just the comments that I'm getting.
Yeah, well.
In finance?
KB.
Yeah.
You have to understand something, and we have to explain this thing. The Attorney General, for 8 years or more, styled some people in Grenada as being needy and greedy and dunce.
Eating fig skin.
And nobody who sat among her made any attempt to tell her otherwise. So they treating the people as such. So it's not a surprising thing to me. You have a call on the line. I see the call. Good afternoon, caller. How are you doing?
Mr. Scholar, do you know what happened to Scholar? He had accident or something?
No, I don't know. Ask KB. I don't know.
No. What happened? They victimized him.
You know, the permanent secretary in the
education. No, they said not anymore. They don't give him no chance to settle, to even prove himself. They just pull him out and put him in ICT.
All right, so thank you.
Yeah, but KB, I have a parallel view on this Scholar thing. Scholar was the man who sing on Keith Mitchell for 20 years now.
Yeah.
And tell him, go home, he tired, go home. And they get 6 for 9. Remember, the same stick will be the black dog, it will be the white one. So don't feel sorry and crying. The same stick were beating the black dog KB. Just be the white dog.
My point different to your victimization is victimization.
No, man, they're not victimization.
When you victimize NNP, you victimize NDCs, all victimization.
He go back in a ministry, man. He's acting PS in ITC, man.
And I would not rejoice over Scholar victimization.
I don't rejoice in, but I'm saying as is.
You could say that, but I don't rejoice in over
I'm saying as he sang, go home, you're tired, go home.
All right, stick up in there. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, afternoon.
Afternoon.
I'm listening to your program. I started listening a bit late this evening. However, I don't think this government is cohesive. This government is not cohesive. If you look at what's happening here, it seems like everybody's doing their own thing. Recipe for disaster. We are afraid. I'm afraid. Truthfully, I'm afraid because it seems like the ministers, they're doing their own thing. I see some more going on, let me say for one, in Subies. And no feasibility study was done in doing that because within the last 2 months, you could not have done a feasibility study as today.
What work in where you say?
In Subies.
What work in Subies?
The jetty?
I'm not sure if it's a jetty, but a lot of work is going on there.
No, Carla, let me educate you on that project.
Thank you.
First of all, the person who claimed that they just come and do the project is a lie.
Okay.
The minister will say that lie because a feasibility study has been done by a group of people who know what they're about. You have marine biologists and others as part of that group. That project was spoken about by Emmeline Pierre a long time ago. And even Grenville proper telescope and all these people will be part of incorporating in the project. But because the man was saying he come 2 months and don't know, that's why he's saying that. So don't say you don't have a story. This thing has been in the works for a while. Even mangrove and so on is part of the project to be planted and so on. So don't let the minister say he just come, he lie. And tell him I say that. Tell him calculate and say he lie.
They catch me that big time.
No man, he don't know about that. He just see that. If you want some more information on that project, speak to Miss Emmeline Pierre. She know more about the project than the man was saying 1 month time he bringing it. He just see things happening. But as usual, success have a lot of fathers. So the truth abideth not in him. When he say he just come 1 month in it. A lot of stories and all these things and them are talking about. Assessment on the environment. And this project is one to help the environment. Okay. So don't let the minister who say that he don't know, he playing dumb, he don't know. He just see things and he want to be a part of it without asking the questions. Because I know personally of people involved in that project, and those persons I know of is serious people. People who want the salt, men of valor, not like the minister and them.
Wonderful.
Marine biologists by training.
I like to hear that.
A fish, I think the fish place will be upgraded and all other things. It's a comprehensive project. When it is completed, it would be a magnificent thing.
Wonderful.
The minister don't know. He just want to harp on, when Chuck passing, you're trying to harp on Chuck and you'll fall and bust your mouth.
Yeah.
So I challenge him, the minister, to say something different. So who listening, go and tell him that calculator not the real FM saying he don't know about the project, he just happen on it.
Wow.
That is the confidence I have in my information.
Wow. I mean,
and I might even vent here one of these days on Real FM to get one of the persons in that project to come and speak about it here. That is the kind of confidence I speak with and conviction. And I challenge anyone out there listening to call and say something different.
Wonderful. Yeah, I was saying too that I don't find the government is cohesive. In that I find that the ministers, everybody seems to be doing their own thing. Recipe for disaster.
Let me tell you something. The National Democratic Congress, character and pregnancy is the same thing. They cannot be hidden. That is embedded in the DNA of the Congress. Because when you hear they speak, and Carla, I said this a long time ago, lack of institutional knowledge is a problem. Inexperience is a problem. Youthful arrogance is a problem. And if you don't get them in check, they are a recipe for mash up. And that mash up the whole PRG. And KB here and he could tell you. If you don't believe me, ask KB.
I believe you. I'm seeing that. And every time they speak about Morris Bishop, And it's like they don't know what's going on. They seem not to be knowledgeable about what happened during the revolution. Morris Bishop. You know what happened to Morris Bishop? So why you really want that to happen to you too? You're begging for it by creating the atmosphere.
Let me just give you one little word of advice, caller. To be wrong, strong and stupid is a serious calamity.
Yeah.
To be wrong and pretend you be strong and being stupid at the same time is a serious calamity.
Very much so. Very much so.
So when the man come and talk about thing in Subis, tell him think it over. Think it again. Because everybody know that was one of Emmeline pet projects.
And if Tommy don't know.
And Tommy don't know. So Tommy talking. So tell any one of them to call the program here and challenge what I say about the project.
Wonderful.
Any one of them call with facts and dispute what I'm saying.
Right.
So all the studies necessary was done. And the project is one geared at enhancing the environment and the impact of global warming and so on. Climate change. That is the the crux of that project.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. We on this, the foreign minister, connection with the Venezuela government. A couple of years ago, Carl Clayton, Chavez was offering money to the Eastern Caribbean countries, asking them to join Petrocarib.
Petrocarib or Alba?
Alba. And they will receive a maximum of $60 million.
Your friend in how much did you want it?
Take the big call. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Gentlemen. Yes, I have a problem. Recently in the Senate, in the House, Minister Joseph Handel. Hello?
Yeah, we're listening.
Yes, Mr. Joseph Handel said that the good people of St. Patrick's West voted for him and he won a seat. I'm from St. Patrick's West. I didn't vote for him because I'm an NMP.
So you're not a good person?
So I want to know if I'm not a good person. I want him to answer me that question. To myself, I know I'm a good person. So, but I want him to tell me, those who didn't vote for him, if we are not good people.
Caller.
I want to know.
I just said to the caller before to be wrong and pretend you're strong and being stupid at the same time is a calamity. No. The foreign minister, you see, sometimes the stage too big for people. You know when you get on certain stage and it's too big for you?
Yes.
So you're like a gangster who don't know how to act.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how they see the Grenadian people. Because they allow the AG presently to talk and style Grenadians as needy, greedy, and stupid.
Yeah.
And they insipid and they never say nothing.
Nobody answer, nobody say nothing. Everybody accepts.
So they think every Grenadian is insipid.
Yeah, I want him to tell me who I am.
So you from the constituency, one time when you meet him, you must ask him what he mean by that.
Yes,
Mr. Joseph Handel, what you mean by the good people vote for you?
So those who didn't vote for him.
Them is not good people.
Another thing again. I'm a retired nurse. They said all retirees must go home. Once you don't want a wheelchair, or chop on them, and all this kind of thing. About a week ago, they called me and asking me, those who retired recently, if they have a shortage of nurses, if we like to come back and work. What kind of nonsense is that? And you say we must go home?
Not only that, they are acolytes. And those apologies and the people knifing everybody. And the Honorable Prime Minister not addressing that.
Why you calling me and ask me if I could want to come back to work?
So when they even say how he doesn't go on this program and thing, but he don't say nothing against it.
No.
Silence is consent. Mutatus mutan, this one and the same.
That won't affect your pension, though.
Huh?
That won't affect your pension if you go back to work.
I don't have to go back to work. He said, I don't have to go back to work. Hey, I don't have to go back to work. I'm not under this government.
You've done your best, and the time has come for you to take a rest.
And collect your pension.
I'm happy and comfortable in my house. I don't have to go back to work. If they want, they have shortage of nurses.
3 nurses.
Not they. Pay them good money. Give them good incentives. So they won't travel. They got to stay there.
But how come baby Jesus can fix that?
No, they should fix that.
Well, it's the same thing. Let me tell you something. It's the same thing one guy said, they put so much pressure them Rasta man on Selassie and say he is God that people came to expect too much from Selassie and he couldn't deliver.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing they're doing now. They're putting too much pressure on the guy. They say he's baby Jesus, but then they're telling you give him time.
Yeah, they're saying one thing on one side of the mouth and something on the other side. I'm listening.
All right, take care and continue to listen as we bring the information to the people.
Somebody say, the government, according to their age, do not know anything firsthand about the revolution. They're being misled.
Youth.
We have a next call one time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, afternoon. Go right ahead. Yeah, just speak up. We hearing you low. Speak up first.
Yeah, man.
How you going, man?
But we just bringing the information to the people and letting the people know what is going on. And we cutting all the bull and cutting all the spin. All the spin doctor and stop here. We chipping down the wicket and catch it and hit it on the fool.
You're punching real hard, which is good, which I like.
Now we have to do what we have to do for the people.
Right. So my concern is right now the high cost of living.
Yeah, but they say they treat him with high cost of living, but we don't feel in the effects.
Yeah, and this amount of money, this men want to go and get approved now. I mean, the Supplementary Act is a good thing, but so soon in the administration, so soon 3 months.
Yeah, but the supplement is not my concern. Is not only the Supplementary Act in a color. It's the amount of money that is put on vote 27, the Ministry of Mobilization, and they're not giving the details as to how that money is going to be thing. And we know based on the fact that how they begin up the revolution, we know that how they plan to lift white flag. We know that is the same reason of the Minister of Mobilization, and you've seen him all about, even in projects and so on. So what about the Minister of Infrastructure?
Yeah. But my thing is, why was this meeting called so abrupt and so secretive? Them men just call this thing out of the blue. After there nobody singing it.
No, but when you want to get money, bills and things, you must get the approval of Parliament. That's just the workings of the system.
Yeah, no. But they didn't make no big halabaloo about that. They just go and do what I do. And the
purpose of the meeting was not to make halabaloo, was just to get the approval of the funds.
And it looked bad because they were saying they met about $530 million in the treasury. And
no. But even though you meet money in the treasury, you have to get approval to spend.
Yeah.
And approval comes from Parliament. So it's more procedural. But my thing is, why give an art supplementaries to add to something that is already there? The Ministry of Mobilization was not there. You bring it in and you're giving them 77 million to do what?
Yeah.
You give them a whole vote to do what?
I understand what the caller was saying. The caller felt they didn't want people to question what they were doing with the money.
No, people can question.
Hence the reason why it was so secretive.
No, man, the question is in Parliament. People outside can think. The thing about it is maybe they didn't show the reception or to happen, so it didn't make sense making a song and dance.
I think that is the reason, but that is the normal procedure.
Yeah, caller. So everything good.
Something,
Tell me.
I noticed something the day of when they was going to send the book for the Queen with the bus, when they was on the bus. And even one of their own members, the former members made an observation. All of them are one bus, the whole cabinet are one bus. That was a security breach and that was dangerous. And these guys better do better than that next time. Eh?
Caller. Lack of institutional knowledge, youthful arrogance.
Is a deadly combination.
And inexperience. To be wrong and strong and stupid is a calamity. And I say that without no apology.
All right. Well, anyhow, guys, I'll call you after the program, Carl.
All right. Okay. Take care, man. KB, we have 3 minutes to go, so I will leave it up to you too.
The flow is yours. Yeah. Clear the flow.
Here, interesting that Joseph Andal decided to engage Alba, you understand, to strengthen their relationship so they could access cheap petrol and product from Venezuela. And I remind NDC days, even when Chavez was giving away money, Tillman said, no, Grenada, inches will be better served staying away from Venezuela. I did take it up with Nazimbok. And Nazimbok said, no, I agree with Tillman. Don't accept money from Alba. But today, I see that turn around. And the Minister of Finance, Minister of Foreign Affairs, eagerly engaging the Venezuelan to access finance from them.
They need all the help they could get, KB. So.
Yeah, they need all the help they could get now. They need all the help because...
So I don't against them engaging them.
So anyhow, Carl, I feel happy for that program.
You feel good?
Yeah,
you
good program today.
Ego, you enjoyed?
Yeah, man. The new driver cannot drive.
But that song is a vexing song to a lot of people.
Very, very provokeful.
I don't know wake I'll come out with that one, but that one, boiling belly. All right, folks, have yourself a good afternoon and keep it real. You hear from us again tomorrow. Please, God.
You'll find we so rich in human resources, and yet the country going to pieces. Well, let me tell you, my friend, where we went wrong. After Eric Williams' old car